Scott. How are you?
Luke, how are you?
I'm great. You have an interesting thing to talk about today.
Yes, it's not... Okay, so it's not smart in the sense of gadgets and accessories for phones.
Sure.
But it is something that is kind of tangentially related to some of the kitchen appliances, everyday essential, home, health and fitness lifestyle stuff that we've been seeing over the last 6-8 months.
Okay.
The product is called The Well.
Okay.
And the company is called Lang. So you can, if you're looking at home, you just go to drinklang.us. Or if you just look for The Well by Lang, you'll come across it. This is a kitchen, I guess you would call it an appliance.
Yeah.
Sits on your counter, you plug it in, and what it does is it purifies and mineralizes your water.
Okay.
I have a well at home. And we have... I don't mind drinking from the fountain.
Yeah.
I don't mind drinking from the garden hose. I don't mind drinking from our kitchen sink.
Sure.
Wherever it comes from, I'm not that.
Right.
It doesn't matter. My wife and son, however, they don't like to drink from the faucet.
Okay.
Kitchen, they'd rather. So what we do is, and I get it. I do taste the difference. I'm just not, I don't care.
Yeah, it's not that much of a difference to warrant not. Yeah. Convenient.
Right. So what we tend to do is we will buy the big 5-gallon jugs. We've got one of those kind of cooler things that sits in the corner.
Yep.
And we'll replace those probably every, 4 or 5 weeks, 3 to 5 weeks. And so we've got like 4 or 5 of those jugs. And when we start getting low, we also do it because our coffee maker.
Sure.
We have found that we will kind of
go through a coffee maker a little faster.
Yeah, we'll kind of chew up some of the things. And when you look at it and flip the lid open, you'll see like the white kind of powder. And
you got to clean it a little more.
Yeah, so it gets more expensive to kind of maintain. If you have a nice, expensive one. If you have a cheap one, you might just be replacing that thing quick.
Sure.
So water is a thing in our house.
Sure.
And we like cold water. I like room temperature water. It's tea season, hot chocolate season. So we like hot water.
Yep.
So that type of machine generally works well. You just go over to the jug and pick hot or cold.
Yep.
And you get your water. But at about $7 a bottle, and about once a month, you're spending $35 or so.
Yeah.
You're looking at $350 to $400 a year.
Okay.
Just to have water.
Yep.
For your coffee and drinking and things like that. That's not... if you have guests and things like that, you might go through it quicker, depending on how much. And that's just 2 people.
Right.
So,
and you're still paying a water bill.
And I'm still paying for showers and washing machine and all these other things.
Right.
The Well by Lang is an alternative to that, in that it's a kind of like a countertop or item that sits somewhere. I do want to say this. It takes up a fair amount of space.
Yeah.
A fair amount of space.
Sure. Yeah.
When I first set it up at home, put it on like a main counter, and it was not there very long before my wife was like, how long do we need to keep this here before you have a sense of what you're going to say in your review?
Right. We're losing counter space.
It's getting close to Thanksgiving and we're cooking. And so it eats up a lot of space.
Okay.
I do say that. But it doesn't eat up any more space in terms of like a floor footprint if I put it in the same corner as the water jug.
Okay.
I just need to find something to kind of like put it on like a stand.
Sure.
And then it's just fine.
Yeah.
But if you're putting it next to your toaster, your air fryer, you start to eat up space.
Right.
So this thing is basically a filtration system. You can pour in through like the left side. There's like a jug. You fill up with water. I think it's like 2.5 liters.
Okay.
And then you have this filtration system that it goes through, and then it puts out a filtered. It's 3 stages. Then you have like these tanks. When you actually assemble it, there's like a sediment filter, a carbon filter, and then some kind of like reverse osmosis or something.
Okay.
That it goes through, and then it puts out a very delicious water.
Yeah.
And it is. When you drink it, it feels different. It's got like a nice mouth feel.
Oh.
Tastes great. Now there are some, I don't know what they're called. They're like boxes that you kind of put down inside that have like additives. So one of them might be like a flavor box. You put it in there. It's like a cartridge kind of thing.
I gotcha.
And if you want to have peach or lemon flavored water, orange, I think maybe some different flavors, you can select that. So you can have it kind of put out regular water, or flavored. And then you can also do, if you're doing standard water, you can do hot or cold.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Now it'll give you about maybe like 6-7 minutes to do a liter of water.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So fast, I don't know that that's necessarily fast. Like if you go over into the standard 5-gallon jug and do it, you're going to fill up much quicker.
Sure.
But here is, this is where you start to look at the long-term cost.
Right.
And, the cost benefits, the value of what else does this do? So, flavors.
If it's filtering it, is it worth waiting to have filtered water?
Right.
I mean, if you want filtered, then yeah, I guess it is.
Mm-hmm. So I will say that it does hot quite well. As far as the cold, it's never really cold.
Okay.
It's maybe just below room temperature.
Okay.
Which is kind of weird. I prefer it that way.
Sure.
But I looked up other reviews to see if I was like missing something, and that seems to be like
it's not truly cold.
A common sentiment that I've picked up.
Now, do you pour the water in yourself, or does it hook up to like a water supply?
So you pour it in yourself.
Okay.
There's basically 2 jugs.
Okay, I gotcha.
Or containers, pitchers kind of thing. On the left, it's an all white one. But on the right, you pull it off. It's like a clear one.
Gotcha.
Now, you can also adjust it. There's like where the spout or where the water comes out into that pitcher, you can actually bring it down. So if like you only put your cup under it, and then when you fill it up, then you just stop when you fill your cup up.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
If you just want that, so there's some experience, trial and error, kind of like figuring out what does this thing do for us?
Yeah. How do we use this? Sure.
One of the things we kind of figured out was because we use it for our coffee, and in the morning we're using, like to do a pot of coffee, might go through this pitcher fairly quickly.
Sure.
So what we've taken to do is we will fill it up while we're like emptying the dishwasher or cleaning up the kitchen, have this thing start to create some water for us, and then we'll pour that into another pitcher that stays in our fridge. So that filtered water, we will have a bigger jug that's cold.
Yeah.
When we want to use that.
I gotcha.
Also, we kind of play around with, I'm feeling like lemon water right now. So we can't exactly just fill that pitcher up with clean water, like plain mineral water.
Right.
Because if I want a glass, I want to pour out some lemon water, I don't know what's in that. It's clear.
Right.
So we've kind of figured out like a little system of, hey, if you're going to do anything, all the water that's in your pitcher, just put it in the cold one, put it in the fridge. And then if you want a glass of flavored water, just do it in a glass. Don't use the pitcher for it.
Okay.
So those are just kind of silly pain points, but just kind of like getting over the hump of like, how do we use this in our house?
Sure.
This thing comes in at about $400.
Okay.
So it's kind of an ask.
Yeah.
It's kind of a commitment. Long term, after about a year, this will pay for itself.
Yeah.
But it's kind of, if we want to do the flavored waters, there's like an Alpine blend that you can also get. Ours came with like a starter bundle. So there's I'm trying to think of what it is. Maybe they have it on their website. But the Alpine blend kind of like adds some minerals and additives. Let me see, mineralized.
Oh, those are called Lang packs. Boxes.
Yeah, the Lang packs. Now those come in at about $18.
Okay.
And you're gonna need about 50 liters.
Okay.
Or up to. And so I will also say this: you can decide how much you want that flavor. You can kind of dial that up or down.
Okay.
There's a little touch display when you're picking. I want cold water or flavored water. You can go through the settings and it will tell you. Like a strength of 1 to 5 kind of thing.
Right. I gotcha.
It does take a while to get through the setup process. Like you're kind of there 20 minutes or so, running water through the filters. There is no kind of like standby tank where you've added it and it's kind of sitting there waiting to use for like, say, a Keurig or like a Bun coffee maker where there's like holding water hot or cold. It's kind of like a real time thing. So you may be, if you're doing like a pitcher or two of water or a liter or two, you'll see that it'll pop up on the screen, tell you to add more water to the one on the left.
Okay.
So we also, and I think the last thing that I can think of is as we were using it or as I use it, there's like not an error code, but like a note that comes up on the screen about the quality of water to change it. And I did search to see what that was about. It's not about the machine. It's about the quality of water that I have.
Oh, interesting.
It's basically detecting that the water that I'm giving it's basically saying, you're going to go through these filters quicker if you keep feeding us this kind of water.
Gotcha. Well, that's interesting.
And I've had this water tested.
Yeah.
Because we thought, hey, are we drinking salty water? Are we drinking, I've taken it and they
if you have a well, you usually get your water tested every once in a while anyway, just to make sure your well is working correctly and all that.
So the Lang or the well will say, I think it's like TMS or something, like a sediment or kind of like the number is too high or what it's detecting.
Gotcha.
But you can just basically disregard that. It's just kind of letting you know that that's what your water's like. Yeah.
But, I mean, probably just because, they say, hey, it's good for X amount of liters. They're just letting you know. In your case, it's going to be a little different because it's working a little bit harder to clean your water or whatever.
If this filter or this component is expected to last so long,
right,
you might be replacing it
sooner because of what. Not our problem, dude. Basically.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It comes down to the replacement, like a 3 filter. There's sediment, reverse osmosis, carbon. I think they actually say how long they are on their website. So you could buy those to replace those, but you're looking at like $99 to buy all 3 of those.
Sure.
You can get the well as a starter kit, which basically comes with the well, the 3 filters, and then like a double box of the Alpine blend.
Yeah.
At $350, I think this thing's really cool.
Sure.
$375-ish, maybe. Yeah.
It sounds like
it's $400. You got to really think about it.
Sure. It sounds like it's usable for you.
100%.
Who do you think is the target person?
So I want to say it's like an everyman kind of thing, right? But at the same time, not everybody wants to spend that. Like if I didn't have the opportunity to review this thing, I'm content with drinking any water.
Sure.
However, I do like the idea of being done buying these jugs every couple of weeks.
Sure.
That's time. Time is money, and the money on the jugs. So somebody who might want to, new year, new you.
Yeah.
I'm going to change some things in my house. Somebody who might want to do, like, if they like flavored waters, these aren't seltzer, but if they like a nice lemon water every once in a while or a peach flavor.
How are the flavors?
They're not bad.
Yeah.
I did dial the lemon up all the way.
Yeah.
And it's almost like somebody, like you went to the restaurant and just asked for a bunch of lemons and then you squeeze them into your water.
Gotcha. Okay.
But then it almost bordered on the side of like, it almost tastes fake to me.
Gotcha.
It's synthetic. But dialing it back 1 or 2 and putting it in the middle.
Yeah.
I think it's just a nice, refreshing.
Nice.
Kind of like, oh, this is nice. I could throw a sprig of mint in here or a cucumber or 2 and have a nice, refreshing.
That sounds pretty good.
Mid-December drink. Yep.
Awesome.
So yeah, I don't want to sound like I'm saying it's not worth the money, but it's just more of an intentional purchase.
Sure.
But
and it sounds like your case is maybe slightly different than most people, especially with having the well and stuff like that. Not the well by Lang.
Having a well
in your house for water.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is it looks cool. The footprint thing is an interesting, anytime you add a everyday appliance like this, you have to think, oh yeah, where is this going to actually go?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it's not like an air fryer or something like that where you get it out when you're using it and then put it away.
And it's pretty heavy.
Sure.
You don't just kind of slide it.
Well, yeah, and you're filling it with water.
Right.
You know, that just, it's one of those things where you have to think, okay, how am I going to use this? Where it's going to go? But it looks cool. And I like the idea of being able to add flavor if you want to.
Yeah.
That's a cool feature. So,
yep.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Scott.
You're welcome. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the podcast.
Thanks for listening.
We appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, feedback, concerns, comments, anything, shoot us an email at podcast@AndroidGuys.com. We'd love to hear from you one way or the other. Luke, if someone wants to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
I am on Instagram and Twitter at Luke Gaul, Gaul.
And I'm on Instagram at Scott Webster and Twitter as SWebster77. Until next time, thanks for listening.
See ya.